Baptist Church. Sir?
Psalms 121, 1 and 2 says, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from which comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. Let us pray. Father, on tonight, we thank you for this beautiful day whereby you gave us another opportunity to experience your goodness and your grace. We ask your continued blessings upon this place we call home in Madison, Alabama. Continue to bless Mayor Finley as he leads this great city. Continue to sustain him and strengthen him. Continue to bless each council person, the districts, and the families they represent. On tonight, during this meeting, may you bless the agenda. May you be glorified and edified. The people be edified. And in the end, may your will be done. In the matchless, majestic name we pray. Let everyone say amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor. All right, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance. All right, can I get the roll call?
Mayor Finley.
Here.
Councilmember Robleski.
Here.
Councilmember Spears.
Here.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Shaw.
Here.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Here.
Councilmember Denzine.
Here.
Council President Seifert.
I'm here. All right. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
No, there are no amendments to the agenda.
All right. And that will move into approval of the minutes. And first up, we have from our regular meeting on 9 June, the minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
I just wanted to give a shout out to the city clerk's office and all the detail that you put in regarding the Bowers Road project. I know it took you a week to do that. The detail is fabulous. I'm so thankful for that extra work that you did, and I know it was tedious, but I just want you to know that we all appreciate that.
Thank you, and we thank Carrie.
Awesome. Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, the motion passes. And next up is the work session from 9 June.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that one? No? Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, that motion passes. Now we're going to move into presentation and awards. And Chief, I think we have some promotions tonight.
Thank you.
So this is one of the good things about being chief, is to be able to do things like this, but it's also difficult because I have to make some difficult choices when you have so many good people working here. First person I'd like to call up is Sergeant Josh Hensley. Josh has 5-year service with the Madison Police Department. He's worked in patrol until now, and as a patrol officer, he's worked as a field training officer, a CIT officer, that's Crisis Intervention Team, guys who are especially trained to go out and deal with people who are suffering a mental health crisis. He's also a member of the recruiting team. His wife, Caroline, and he have been married for 12 years, and they have a 4-year-old daughter named Cooper. Would you want to?
Ready?
Sergeant Logan Grant. Logan has also been on for 5 years, and he served as a field training officer that entire time. Well, not an entire time, but most of that time, and is one of our top field training officers, and has now graduated up to, instead of supervising one person, supervising about 9, something like that. Lieutenant Chris Coons. So Chris has been on for 7 years, came on in 2018. He served temporarily with the investigative division from 919 to 320. Promoted to sergeant in 2022. He's worked as the night B shift commander since he's been promoted. He's a tactical driving instructor, peer support member, flex support team member. He's married to his wife, Heather, and kids, Chris Jr. and Brenley. Now, one thing I want to talk about Chris real quick. Probably the toughest choice I had to make was the lieutenant position because I had 4 outstanding candidates. The other candidates had much more time on with than Chris, but out of a possible 100 points in the process, Chris scored a 99.15, and that's hard to pass up. And I feel he was deserving of this promotion. Brandy, I'm trying to be as brief as you guys were for your promotion ceremony. Next, Captain John Stout. Captain Stout was hired by the police department in 2001 after coming here from Charleston, West Virginia for 3 years, so he saw the light and came to Madison. Promoted to detective in 2002, where he served on the drug task force, local drug task force here, then was assigned back to investigations as a child sexual abuse investigator. And that's a very, very tough assignment. Served with, or worked with the National Child Advocacy Center and their multidisciplinary team investigating those types of offenses. Promoted to sergeant in 2012, where he went to training in the Special Operations Division, and then later went back to the Patrol Division as a patrol shift sergeant. While he was a sergeant, he also became a member of our SWAT team and served for a number of years. Promoted to lieutenant in 2020 and served as a patrol division shift commander, and when I promoted him to captain, he was serving as our police services division commander. He'd been married to his wife Ashley for 29 years. He's the son of Evan, whom he's very, very proud of, by the way, who attends Mississippi State and is studying to become a doctor of veterinary services, correct? Right, and he's accompanied by his son, who will be pinning on his badge. Stop the bleeding. Finally, It took me a few years, but I finally picked an Assistant Chief Mike Allen. Again, this was a very, very difficult choice because I had 3 outstanding candidates. So the process involved the mayor, Chief Giles from Huntsville, and I. We put these guys through their paces, but we all agreed unanimously that Mike was the best choice. Now, one of the reasons why Mike was selected is I am total chaos, Mike is order. As my wife can attest, I suffer from a severe case of adult attention deficit disorder. Mike is the direct opposite, so he fulfills the need that I have, and that's to bring order to my chaotic life. So he's done an outstanding job. Mike was hired in 1992 under the old police cadet program, which I hope to resurrect someday. And after serving as a cadet, he served as a dispatcher in 1992 before he was old enough, I guess, to become a police officer. As a police officer, he served as a traffic officer, a field training officer, canine handler, SWAT team member, and was promoted to sergeant in 2004, where he worked in the patrol division. Promoted to lieutenant in 2010. In 2019, he was promoted to captain and took over the Special Operations Division. Mike is a native here in Madison and a graduate of Bob Jones High School. Besides being an Auburn fan, he's a pretty good guy. He has 2 children, Riley and Caitlin, who are here tonight. I think it's safe to say that the future of the Madison Police Department is a bright one. We've got an outstanding crew of supervisors. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing that with the community, Chief. So with that, we're going to move into public comments. We've got 2 that have registered to speak ahead, but what I'll remind everybody is as you come to the podium, you have 3 minutes. Everyone's got 3 minutes, and when you do come to the podium, please give us your name, and if you're comfortable, your address or your district that you live in. So with that, the first that we have, Debbie, I'm going to give you a second before I call your name because I don't want you to feel like you just vacated the room, but yes, ma'am. All right, first up is Miss Debbie Overcash.
Hi, thank y'all so much for giving me a few minutes to speak. I'm Debbie Overcash, and I live in District 5. I understand that there may be some misunderstanding or misinformation about the agreement to be discussed this evening between the Madison Station Historic Preservation Society and the city. I'd like to bring some facts forward that I think will help unravel the confusion. The goal of the society is to preserve history, restore artifacts, and to bring the community together for the common good. The society's focus is our wonderful downtown historic area. Annually, we raise funds to support the improvements and enhancements of our downtown. These improvements include, but are not limited to, the purchase and gifting to the city of the Main Street clock. In 2020, during the height of COVID, the Society raised $50,000 for the sustainable upgrades and improvements to the historic Roundhouse, to include hardy board siding, new windows, lighting, painting, and the addition of an HVAC system. Last year, the Society raised the money for the 4-foot iron fencing on the Main Street side of the train tracks. Our current project is to restore and make sustainable the gazebo located on Front Street. The society has raised $10,000 toward this project, and a member of the society who is a licensed contractor will be donating his and his crew's time for the construction. We are looking to bring both sets of steps to code, hardy board where possible, replacing the handrail and hand railing, new electrical, as well as the rotting floors and ceiling, and finally painting. The society does not want, nor do we intend to manage the gazebo, only to return her to her glory. The gazebo will continue to be managed by Madison's building department and scheduled by the city clerk's office. We look forward to our continued mutual partnership with the city we love and always strive to support. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you, Ms. Evercash. Okay. Next up, we have Ms. Maggie Minsk.
Good evening.
If you can
My
give
name
us-
is Maggie Minsk, and I'm
ahead,
District
you're
4. Yes? Thank you, and as always, thank you for your time, your service, and the work that you've been doing to keep our city running. I know it's not easy, and I appreciate the effort it takes to sit in these seats and make decisions week after week. I also know that much of what's handled here is operational: contracts, maintenance, renewals, the bones and systems of a functional city. And I would like to invite us to broaden our lens. Because while these systems do matter, the people of Madison, the families, the workers, the kids growing up here are telling a different story. They're sitting in traffic for hours trying to get to work. They're struggling to find housing they can actually afford, not luxury townhomes or 5-bedroom homes, but something in between. And they're wondering why we have so few options for getting around if they don't drive. They're reporting flooding, streetlight issues, infrastructure concerns, and too often they're met with silence or delays. And I've looked through the meetings and budget approvals and seen shredding and new laptops and funding for police and fire. And as the granddaughter of the chief of police of Chattanooga, Tennessee, I understand that that's important. And I also see that we're putting a lot of energy into maintaining systems instead of transforming them when we can. And I want to gently ask, what would it look like if we spent more of our time solving problems, not just maintaining the status quo? As a mother and a mental health counselor, when I think about my children's future, I don't just react to what's in front of me. I try to give them what they need to thrive, to grow into independent, empowered adults who can contribute meaningfully to their world. What if we took the same approach to Madison? Not just fixing what's broken, but reimagining what's possible. What if we piloted flexible transit loops to reconnect neighborhoods and job centers, or revised zoning to allow for more missing middle housing, or created a transparent, trackable system for infrastructure complaints so people feel heard? The people of our state and our nation are growing louder than ever. They're angry and disillusioned and often feel like government isn't working for them anymore. But Madison could be different. Madison could lead. We could model what it looks like when a local government listens, adapts, and truly serves the needs of its people. Thank you for your time and your willingness to grow.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else wanting to address council this evening? I don't, is it this? Okay. All right. Well, I come grab it, or? Okay. If you'll come to the podium, ma'am, and just give us your name and.
I don't want to get started yet, but I send you things, but I know you don't read them just by your vote, so I printed things like the old way.
Okay.
We'll hand them down.
Yeah, just
Okay, we'll pass them down.
figure it out. Ma'am, in the essence of time, if you could come ahead and give us your name while we're passing this out amongst ourselves. And, well, the clock will start, ma'am, when you give us your name and. All right, I got a total of 4 handouts, is that correct?
Yes.
Gazebo, murals. I guess I didn't give you my husband's because she's supposed to read that. He said they're never gonna listen.
Ma'am, if you'll come to the podium, we have 4 total handouts. Believe we have what you have, so if you'll give your name, address, or district for the record,
Okay,
and the clock will start.
Jacqueline Peters, District 6, and what else did you want? That's all. Okay, so look at Main Spotlight Beyond Pride. Creating an inclusive Main Street year-round. I sent this out to you before, but I found out that you've turned Main Street into Gay Street while I was with my husband on a 43rd anniversary in May. Here, this is from Main Street America. We want to provide year-round support for the LGBTQ plus community, and it will make our district more welcoming and inclusive. Main streets have a key role to play in creating more inclusive communities. By meeting people where they are, opening conversations with them, boldly sticking to our values, we can make lasting change. Basically, they're saying in here too, we want our business owners to be Main Street business owners to be LGBTQ supportive. That would mean we're having pride flags in the offices, signs in windows, inclusive photos on our social media. We know that's who Main Street is. That's who I told you. They are owned by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Then we have Madison Historic Preservation Society heavily involved with them. They're under the National. DOJ has taken away $150 million a year from them because they're woke and they want to destroy our neighborhoods, which you have all allowed. And Renee has applauded it, and the mayor has applauded it. The others have voted for it, except Karen was not here. You know, what are you doing? Those gazebos, what a joke. They want to get those ready to put their artwork in there, to have their flag there, okay? They want their murals downtown. They're expanding already. They want the B2 district, don't they? They want to put their murals up there. My husband is going to reference a 2-story transvestite mural in a city that they have. Karen will read that to you, okay? You have opened the door to Pandora's box of political identity, and no one is going to forget it. I will tell them to come and see that you knew before that vote what was going on, because it's on record. I have come to you, and no one has cared about this community. You know, they want to have conversations and push back on people, and they want to call people who don't agree with them mean and abusive. Do we really want that in our city? Do we want identity politics where one group is going to control the downtown? That's what you've done. That's what you have voted for. I can't even believe that you did it to this city, because now there's going to be so much trouble. And
All right, ma'am, if you can, that's all we have. 3 minutes are up.
that's what you've done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Before the Lord, that's what you've done.
Is there anyone else tonight wishing to address council? Okay, seeing none, we will close public comments, and we'll move into consent agenda and finance committee report.
Okay, the Finance Committee has reviewed the regular and periodic bills, and on the consent agenda, we have a 3-year equipment service plan with Stryker for preventative maintenance of cardiac monitors for $15,305.60 per year to be paid by the fire department budget, and then an acceptance of a donation from K-Tran for programming at Madison Senior Center of $50 to be deposited in the Senior Center donation account. And with that, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Can I get to vote?
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw?
Aye.
Council President Seifert?
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Powell? Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. And we'll move into presentations and reports. And Mayor, you're up first.
All right, well, 4 quick things. The first one, as we get close to July 4th, Madison will celebrate the Star Spangled Celebration July 3rd at Dublin. It was from 5 to 9, with fireworks starting right at 9. And the shuttle from Bob Jones will start at 4:30, so we shuttle you back and forth between Bob Jones and Dublin to make it very easy for you. Thanks to Recreation and all the folks who helped make that work. Secondly, Building 23A, guys, we're getting really close to moving into that right now. And talking to Gerald and team, we're looking at the week of July 11th to be the week that everyone kind of finalizes moving in. I thank Chris and IT, fire and police. They've all worked hand in hand with Gerald to make all of that happen. So we'll be looking at that. Along with that, the training facility is coming along on Celtic. And the animal control building will be out for bid on July 2nd. So we're moving all of those things along at the same time. Excited about that. And then tomorrow is the last day for qualification for anyone who is going to run for mayor or city council positions. Then I will work with Miss Lisa and we will put out the list first thing Wednesday morning. And then in addition to that, we'll have a letter that goes out from Megan, but also from the mayor's office. One thing we are going to do to any of the elected folks out there, we've already had folks going back and forth on signs. We're going to make sure that we're compliant with signage from start to finish. So just guys, we'll make sure you know what that looks like, but everybody just stay within the bounds of what's normal, and we'll just police it that way and hope we don't have to do too much of that. And with that said, that's all I have.
All right, thanks, sir. District 1.
No new business.
Awesome. District 2.
No new business.
3 is not here. District 4.
No new business.
And District 5.
I just have one announcement. This Thursday, we have the third Concerts in the Park starting at 7 p.m. I was reminded recently by a resident that we have not reminded people about concerts in the park, so I'm doing my part tonight, and that's all.
Glad you did. Thank you.
Thank you much. Okay, and District 6.
All right, I have a couple of things. One is that this weekend, on Friday and on Saturday, the Madison Visionary Partners are doing a Serve Madison. And I love the fact that they're trying to bring in people who want to help serve the community. And they've got so many things listed at their website. And just some of them are Kids to Love backpacking, or to go and fill their backpacks for school so the kids have things in their backpack. It's a wonderful organization. It's all done by Kids to Love. There's yard work at the Madison Hospital. There's Adopt a Spot trash pickup. There's the Old Providence Trail Build. West Madison Pre-K has projects. And it goes on. There is the more backpack and gift collection. There's the Bob Jones Service Day, where you can go to Bob Jones and have various projects. There's the Leather Tree Park mulching. There's the Stewart Park mulching. And there's the Windsor Park mulching. So there's all sorts of things going on within the city. So all you have to do is go to the website, sign up. I don't think there was anything on this list that was completely full. So there are still options out there for people just to get involved and to do something small for the community or something big. Work both days, work one day, work an hour. Anything that we can do together as a community, I think, just continues to help to build this community. And I completely support that. The other thing it's come to our attention, I don't know how many people have heard, it sounds like there's drag racing on the streets of Madison. Okay, you hear these really loud revving engines all the time. Now, there was a couple of sharp fellows that live over in Crestview, and they're watching it, and the cars aren't moving, but the noise is coming from them. And what it is a violation of one of our codes. And as Chief Gandy states, it's a loud exhaust, and it's Traffic Code 325216 for loud or modified exhaust. So if you hear this, if you're aware of it, they really want to get down on it. There are people over there that literally had to put in new windows because the loud sound over there. It's not right up for community. So if you hear of it, let the police department know so we can try to get a handle on this, because the noise is just too loud for our community. And other than that, I guess it'll be 4th of July before I see y'all again. I just wish everyone a very happy and safe 4th of July. It's wonderful to celebrate the country and all of its diversity. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. For District 7, I've got A couple things. One is a resolution 2025-215R authorizing council special projects funding to repair of the historic downtown clock not to exceed $1,500.
Move to approve.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that? Now, I want to thank y'all for supporting that and Parks and Rec work and get that taken care of. So can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, the motion passes. Thank y'all. Only other thing I had, so I think some of y'all saw from this weekend, I don't know how to say it. I had the opportunity, but an opportunity I didn't want, to travel south to my hometown at Ozark to lay to rest a dear friend that was the sheriff for Dale County. Retired. He'd served in that position for 16 years, been on the force for 28, retired back in 23. Name was Wally Olson, Sheriff Wally Olson. But I had the opportunity to speak to his wife, graduated high school with, and present to her on behalf of the city and our citizens, council, mayor, coins to her, as well as her two daughters, their two daughters, one that just graduated and one that's 15 years old. We got to present them those coins, as well as Chief was gracious enough to give me some coins from the police department and present those. And Chief, I know you gave me one coin, but I actually gave that to current Sheriff Bynum, who's down there, to show our appreciation to him for what they went through.
Thank you for doing that for us. I know it was hard.
It was quite difficult. Last time I was in the Civic Center was actually the funeral of my grandfather there in the same way. So it was interesting. But all that to be said, one thing, and I'll leave y'all with this. And this, Wally was a good friend of mine. If you ever knew Wally, he wanted to crack on you at any point. But his motto, and something I'm trying to employ into my life, was just one day at a time. In this area, everything goes so fast, and all we're trying to do is just go from the next day, the next day, the next minute. And quite frankly, we're not in control of tomorrow. We're not even really in control of today. So just take it one day at a time, just one thing at a time, one next thing at a time. So, and I will say a testimony to him and his wife. His 15-year-old daughter got up and gave a eulogy to her father. I couldn't have done it. I'm 46, and I was bawling towards the end of it. So, but just want to thank y'all for allowing the opportunity to do that. Not an opportunity I wanted, but be remiss not to thank him for his service and recognize him again. So, okay, all that, we're going to move into boards and committee appointments, and we have 2 for this evening.
Yes, sir. Those are mine. With your permission, I would like to appoint Kimberly Johnson to the Madison Municipal Cemeteries Committee with a term date of May 29th, 2029.
All right, are there any other nominations? Okay, with that, we will go forward with that nomination by consensus.
Thank you. And then I would like to request reappointment of Cindy Sanderson to the Madison Municipal Cemeteries Committee with a term date also of May 29th, 2029.
All right, any other nominations? Okay, we will go ahead and forward with that appointment from consensus.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. All right, and there goes one of those mufflers right now. Okay, we don't have any public hearings for tonight, so that we're going to move into department reports. And engineering, you're up first.
First, I have resolution number 2025.
Crap.
R, this is authorizing a professional services agreement with OHM Advisors for survey and design services on project 25017 Garner Street Extension from Lifeway to Madison Boulevard. $240,000 to be paid from engineering department budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
One of our constituents had a few questions, and I appreciate you answering them and going over that. One of them is why Garner Street now? Could you just address that to the people?
It was always the plan to continue Garner Street down to Madison Boulevard. It provides connectivity to downtown. It adds connectivity to the new school. It gives us more ways to get around town, and it will help with congestion, in lots of different places.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for that explanation. Can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Next, I have resolution number 2025-196R. This is authorize a professional services agreement with Eurotech USA Incorporated for void fill and stabilization on Kelvin Grove Drive for project 25025, Kelvin Grove foam injection, $246,187.50 to be paid from engineering department budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Michael, can you address real quick? I think you've used this same foam injection other places, and we've seen good success.
Spencer Green in Westchester, we've used it last year, and we've had good results. We let it go for a year. We let it sit cold, freeze, thaw, summer, the whole thing. We've had good results from it.
All right, cool. Okay, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, motion passes.
All right, next I have resolution number 2025-200R, acceptance of Windermere Phase 3 into the City of Madison Maintenance Program.
Move to approve.
Second. Okay, motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
All good with it?
We're good.
All right.
Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
All right, and finally, I have resolution number 2025-201, acceptance of Windermere Phase 4 into the City of Madison Maintenance Program.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, sir. And next up is Human Resources.
So this is resolution number 2025-197R, approving professional services and software subscription agreement with Deputy Corporation Limited for electronic timekeeping system. $23,000 for the implementation, plus there's an associated subscription fee for 3 years. It's going to come out of the HR budget. The subscription fee begins once implementation ends, and so it'll just be a monthly fee after that.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that? Okay. No. Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. And legal.
Good evening. I have 4 items for your consideration tonight. The first one is resolution number 2025-173R. This item was continued from the May 27th meeting. It's an agreement with the Swadek, Vaughn, and Bryan firm, which has served as the city's lobbyist since 2020. Since then, they've helped us secure over $6 million in funding for projects like the Madison Boulevard improvements and the community center. Since you last saw this agreement, it was updated by adding a 30-day out clause in favor of either party. And this is $5,000 per month to be paid from legal and managed by the mayor's office.
Move to approve?
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I had one question. When we met with them, I appreciated the chance to talk to them and be more informed. But they seem to do a lot with the legislature. Is the legislature meeting between now and November? And will there be significant things coming from that?
Committees at times will meet, but as far as the actual legislature themselves, no, they will not meet till next year.
But there'll also be pre-filed bills that they will be getting up to speed on, because by the time the legislature comes in session, there could be over 100 bills. Some might apply, some might not, but somebody's got to read them to figure out all that stuff.
Right. I guess my question is if we're just going short term, is that the best route, or should we just wait? I would like to interview other organizations. I mean, I appreciate what they do, but we've only had this one person, and I'd like to have that option, I guess, so. I was just wondering where it was in the legislative process.
In addition to legislative work, they also look for funding for us, and that is, 24/7, all year long. They look for funding for different projects that they have. So this is not just a legislative 4-month agreement. They work all year for us.
Right, but when I asked them, it sounded like most of the stuff did come through legislature, that's all.
But also, the best time to meet with our legislators is when they're at home, not while they're in session. So if I was a lobbyist, what I would be doing would be meeting with them before the session to kind of lay the groundwork for things that we might be asking for legislation to be passed on. And to also, you've got to have some lead time for them to get up to speed and figure out how to go about getting funding. They can't walk in one day and ask for funding the next day, because that's just not the way it works.
I understood that from our conversations, yes. Okay. That's all.
All right. Can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Nay.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Next up, I have a second reading for ordinance number 2025-195. This is an ordinance to allow Madison Utilities to dispose of certain equipment. They're asking to dispose of 6 different types of service trucks, and under state law, they're required to come to the council before they dispose of equipment or land.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Next, I have a first reading for ordinance number 2025-214. This is an ordinance to authorize a franchise agreement with the Alabama Fiber Network. And first, I'd like to thank Mr. Chris Skelton, who's the Chief Technology Officer for Alabama Fiber Network. He's here this evening should you have any technical questions or more in-depth questions about the company. They were formed several years ago among various electric co-ops in the state to expand Alabama's broadband network to underserved areas and also connect first responder sites and other community hubs like community colleges and hospitals. And they are asking for permission to come through Madison. And the map above shows the planned route. It goes from the substation on Lanier Road close to the post office up to Highway 72, at which point the state will take over with permitting. And in consideration, they're offering a 5% franchise fee to the city on any revenues collected in the city. And they're also offering to build free fiber lines to certain city facilities and first responder sites and Madison Hospital in order to serve as backup lines in case of emergency. This is just a first reading tonight. I'm happy to take any questions that you have now. Fortunately, we have Mr. Skelton here in case you have any questions. And if you have any questions before the vote on July 14th, we'll be glad to address them.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you for your investment in Madison.
Cool. Next.
Thank you. And finally, I have resolution number 2025-213R for your consideration this evening. This is authorizing an agreement with the Madison Station Historical Preservation Society for maintenance and upkeep of the gazebo located on the Village Green. This is just like the Roundhouse agreement we entered into with the society a few years ago. It puts a process into place for the city and the society to collaborate on repairs. And if this is approved, they will set sail on a project to invest about $10,000 of funding and to retain a contractor to do certain upgrades to the gazebo. And the city will handle more of the significant structural and electrical type of work through the facilities department. And so Gerald is getting quotes for that work, and we'll bring them to you at a future meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And next is planning.
Teddy's favorite person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teddy would tell you you're his favorite tonight, but he's not here.
Good evening, Matt Davidson with the Planning Department. The first item is proposed ordinance number 2025-184. This is a request to vacate a portion of a utility and drainage easement located within Tract 1 of Town Madison, Phase 14 subdivision. The first reading for this was on June 9th. The subject easement was previously intended for a sanitary sewer line that has been relocated. All departments have signed off, and staff is recommending approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, motion passes.
The next item is proposed ordinance number 2025-185. This is a request to vacate a portion of a utility and drainage easement located within Lot 2 of McCurry Phase 3 subdivision, which is the site for the new Fairfield Inn and Suites that's under construction. The applicant is requesting to vacate a 5-foot portion of a 40-foot U&D easement to allow the placement of a monument sign. All departments have also reviewed this request, and staff is recommending approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Give it to him.
Keep it on
Give it
that
to
end.
him.
Keep it on that.
Ping pong.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? No? Can't get the vote.
Councilmember Spears.
Roblesky did
Yeah.
the
it
motion.
was- Yeah.
Okay, then let's start that over.
Aye.
Okay, Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, motion passes.
The next item is ordinance number 2025-187. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 8, Section 4, Subsection 4 of the Madison City Code entitled Murals. The proposed amendment would add the B2 Community Business District to the locations where murals may be permitted. The amendment also includes a maximum 75% facade coverage for side or rear walls unless additional coverage is approved by the Mural Advisory Board. Staff believes that the requirement to limit the area of the building facade that a mural can cover can help maintain the architectural character of the building and prevent the mural from overwhelming the surrounding environment. And staff is recommending approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just a quick question. Are all things will all have to go through the board to be approved before anything is ever?
Yes, ma'am. They'll have to make
Same thing
application,
stays in
and
place.
it'll go before the Mural Advisory Board.
Okay, thank you.
Can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Roblesky.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell. Councilmember Shaw.
Ma'am?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, just, okay.
All right, motion passes. Ma'am,
Councilmember-
if you can,
Wait a
please.
minute, she hadn't voted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye, I'm sorry. We had a bit of a.
Apologize, I thought you had voted. Motion passes. Thank you.
The next item is proposed ordinance number 2025-199. This is the first reading for a request to vacate a utility and drainage easement located within Lot 2 of Dublin Acres Phase 3 subdivision. This is an existing 20-foot utility and drainage easement that runs across the lot. The owner has requested the vacation, and this will be coming back to you at your next meeting. And the final item is proposed ordinance number 2025-198. This is also the first reading for a request to vacate a portion of a utility and drainage easement on property located at 126 Parkland Hill Trace. Property owners are requesting to vacate a 5-foot portion of a 10-foot rear utility and drainage easement that would facilitate the construction of a pool. This will also be coming back to you at your next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Okay, any miscellaneous business or announcements? No? Okay. Well, I'll add, just folks, as we adjourn here, if you will, let's put our stuff up. We'll come down, talk to you if you'd like to speak. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great evening. And as Karen said, a awesome July 4th, because we won't see you till after. So,
Motion to adjourn.
adjourned.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah.